and public service. He's a member of East Tennessee Regional Leadership Class of 2017 and facilitator for Cocke County Leadership 2017. Claude currently serves on the board of directors for Newport Utilities and is a Tennessee Promise mentor. He's the chairman of the board and a very, very dedicated volunteer for downtown Newport Artscapes, and he was a very instrumental process for all of this, everything with Time to Shine grant from beginning until now. Claude strives to create positive growth and change for Cocke County.
Thank you for being here. What all that means is I got to sweep the floor and take out the garbage, okay? I caught the vision several years back from a lady who is not here with us tonight. She's on a sabbatical. But Joanne Shana Farber, her husband Scott is here tonight, and they're very instrumental in starting this program. And Scott, if you would stand up a minute, because we want to give you a round of applause. Take that home to Shana for us. But I challenged Alice a while ago and several others in the room tonight. I challenge anybody to find a better program than we've had tonight anywhere in any part of Tennessee. I mean that from the start, top to bottom. Tonight's program literally has put this little area in Tennessee known as Cocke County even higher on the map across the state with our state officials. We have state representatives tonight here, representatives from the state, not state representatives, but from all sectors, from Dandridge, with Joby being here, in different areas. So there's going to be a lot of feedback coming back out of this program, going back to all these departments. It's going to help our involvement with entrepreneurship. You know, entrepreneur, the word, the term, the concept, the idea has been around for a long time. But I think we're living in an age right now where this has been better defined and where government and economic development is more tied to entrepreneurship. I feel a little willing to go on land here to say that entrepreneurs are kind of edging in on the marketplace, the job place right now, with their creativeness and their ideas and their energy to get out here and start things going. There's a lot of reasons for hope for our community, for Newport, for Cocke County. I think you're all aware of the incentive that Newport Utility Board is doing right now with the diligence search, with the feasibility studies and the engineering studies to look at adding another division to the operation. That would be fiber to the home division. I think we're in good shape for that. A little bit of controversy, but you have controversy with everything. But the startup looks good, the projected, the models for all the other cities that have done this. We'll be partnering with Morristown, who's already had a successful upturn. This will all be contributing to our future, for our governments, and bring more revenue to our cities, which is one thing that we do need. Like I said, DNA, or Downtown Newport Artscape, is a 501(c) organization. Like I said, it was a dream of Shana's, and it's coming to life, and it's getting more active, and getting more arms to it, if you will, more outreaching, like the Time to Shine program tonight. We do have artists, we do have a building now on the street, McMahon Street, and so we'll be having that open for long, and you can come down and visit and see the art that is there. One saying that I've heard all my life, that when you begin to do something, you can look at it and say, well, that's easy. It's just not simple to do once you get started. And I don't know if how many in the room tonight might remember this name, but Zig Ziglar. I think some of the people will do that. He was a motivational speaker and taught this principle right in the front of all of his books, that you are the only one who can use your abilities, and it's an awesome responsibility. So we've had 6 people with their partners, spouses, fiancés, whoever they had to come with them, to stand up here tonight and give you where they see they can help take our county and move it forward. I'm just so proud of them. When we started Friday night to where we are tonight, I wish every one of you could be there and watch this progress that they've made through here. So proud of them. We are a 501(c) organization. We do depend on contributions. I do not have a basket to pass around tonight, but we do have membership cards back here in the back. Here we go, if y'all can look back here. Take one with you. Remember tonight, remember what we started here tonight, and help us become more of a clearinghouse for the entrepreneurs that we have in this area, okay? Thank y'all for being here. Thank all the contestants. You did a fantastic job. Thank all of our visitors here from out of town for being here. And I'm gonna turn it back over to these ladies, and we're gonna get the judges' decision momentarily.
All right, we've got one more speaker tonight, and then Shannon's going to do a presentation for us, and then we'll announce our winner, okay? Up next, we have Walt Cross, who's a native of East Tennessee, has a formal education in healthcare administration, where he spent the first 20 years of his career throughout the Southeast. In 2000, Walt accepted the position to work as a director of an international health center outside Washington, D.C., which specialized in reversing cardiovascular disease and diabetes. 13 years ago, Walt and his wife, Mary Lou, returned to Tennessee to conclude the raising of their children in the stronger Judeo-Christian culture of Eastern Tennessee. In choosing Cott County, they acquired the mustard seed in Newport to begin their ministry of helping folks, both local and around the country, address their health care needs by identifying and changing the root causes. Come on up, Walt.
Isn't this exciting? I see more grants coming. You know, many times when I would go into a community, when I worked in healthcare, my question was, what is the industry? And I didn't ask, what is small business industry? And many times we overlook that. And changing from corporate America to small business, it changes your perspective. I'd like to share a couple things this evening very quickly. I know time is running away, but I'd like to speak to the 6 groups that have presented this evening. How important are small businesses to local economics? According to the United States Small Business Administration, small business represents 99.7% of all employer firms. Since 1995, small business has generated 64% of new jobs. Paid 44% of the total United States private payroll. And I don't know, help me here, Isla, I know that times change and I'm out of that component, but they used to tell us that our payroll, times it by 3, is the impact on the community. Is that still the same? Okay. 46% of private sector output, 37% of high-tech employment, 98% of firms exporting goods, and 33% of exporting value. The neat thing about small business is we're able to keep the money in our local communities. And it's amazing. Another advantage is that more money, which is spent at local business, stays in the local area. I know it impacts us as we at the Mustard Seed look at, where we're going to get something, are we going to look at local? Are we going to look at a larger chain? And if possible, we try to keep it to local business because we understand that, because we're local business. A study in Austin, Texas by the American Independent Business Alliance found, this is very interesting, you'll find this interesting, out of every $100 spent at a nationwide chain store, only about $13 stayed for local economy. However, out of every $100 spent at a locally owned and operated business, about $45 stayed in the local economy. This item alone provides a huge boost to other local businesses, workers, and families in the local area. I know that when I worked in corporate America, large corporation, I did not have that ability. My hands were tied by corporate. When it came time to buying things, whether it was corporate contracts, whether it was different buying groups that we would belong to. Many times I could get it cheaper locally, but I could not get it. I'd had to buy from whoever the large buying group was. And so I know it's true that we're able, as small businesses, to spend that money locally. Adaptability to changing times or climates. Many small businesses also possess the ability to respond and adapt quickly to changing economic climates. This is due to the fact that small businesses are very customer oriented. And that's the second most important thing I'd like to look at this evening. Just this last week, I had an opportunity to go down to Atlanta and do some training with a gentleman. He has the largest solo practice dental practice in the state of Georgia. And when I talked with this gentleman, he said, the key, bottom line, customer service. And I encourage y'all, as you look at building your businesses, growing your businesses, customer service. What does the customer want? If you take care of your customer's going to take care of you. Many local customers will remain loyal to their favorite small businesses in the midst of an economic crisis. This loyalty means that small businesses are often able to stay afloat during tough times, which can further strengthen local economies. Small businesses also accumulate less revenue than larger corporations, meaning they have less to lose in times of economic crisis. And I can tell you, I experienced that when the intermediaries decided they were going to change our reimbursement. It killed us in healthcare across the United States. Local folks, if you've got a small business, you can go through that tough time with the local folks supporting you. What is the survival rate for a new business? A very good question. About half of all new establishments survive 5 years or more. So if you can make it that first 5 years, you have a good chance. About 1/3 survive 10 years or more. One would expect probability of survival increases with the firm's age. And that's changed very little over time. Let me share just a few quick keys that I have found that as we look at being successful. Just a few. Number one, success requires courage. You're here tonight. That took courage, right, Jesse? It did. I know how hard that was for Jesse to get up here. Number two, well begun is half done. When I work with people, I'm working with a gentleman right now, came in, and he wants to stop smoking. No, he wants to stop drinking. I told him, sir, you're over halfway. You're here. You want to quit. Whether they're coming in to stop their drug abuse, whether they're coming in to stop smoking, or whatever that addiction is, because they're there, that's a huge, huge step. And y'all are here tonight. That's a huge, huge step. Develop a mission statement and operate within it. Whatever you choose as your business statement or your mission statement, you've got to stay with it. I can remember one of my professors at UT. He was a finance professor, and he was a consultant with UT. And UT he consulted with Coca-Cola. And at Coca-Cola, every year their board gets together and they look at where do they want to be 25 years from now. And their 15, 10, 5, 3, 2, year one-year plan is based on that. But it's based on the mission statement. And they look at that mission statement every year to decide, is that where they want to be 25 years from now? I encourage you to develop a strong mission statement and stay within it. If you wander out, you need to do one of two things. Either come back in or change your mission statement. Develop a budget, live within it. Find the right mentor, someone with experience and knowledge. Invest the time to be successful. When you have your own business, some people say you're married to that business. Y'all who have businesses understand what I mean. It's going to take time. You can't just say, well, I'm just going to 9 to 5. No, if you want to grow that business, it's going to take time. And it's something you're going to have to plan on investing in. Keep overhead down. Lack of cash flow is probably the largest cause of failure in small businesses. Be careful. Grow careful. It's a lot easier to expand than it is to cut back. Live on a shoestring. Until you have sufficient cash flow, keep investing your profits into your business. Put it back in, put it back in. Get by with what, the least that you can. It'll pay off. It may take 5, 10 years, but put that money back in. If you start trying to collect it quick, your cash flow can collapse. And that's huge. Carefully guard the keys to the courthouse. We live in an increasingly litigious time frame. If you're going to pick a business partner, do your due diligence. Know who that person is. It's a relationship. Or if you're going to do something, do it legally. Because going to the courtroom can take time, energy, and money. Number 10, maintain control. It's your business. Maintain control. If you got to do some consulting, you know your business better than anybody else. Make sure they can convince you that what they're recommending is the right thing to do. Just don't be flopping all over the place. You're in control. It's your business. Number 11, be customer oriented, as I just mentioned. And number 12, I believe is the most important. I found it so in my business. Turn your business over to God. Work for Him. Let Him be your CEO. Let Him be your CFO. Ask Him for help. Listen to what He has to say and do what the Holy Spirit drives you to do. And I'm very fortunate to come back to East Tennessee, my home, and to live where we believe in God. And that's huge, y'all. Take advantage of that. I wish each of y'all much success in your new endeavors.
I know you guys are super duper anxious to find out. I promise I will not take long at all. I just want to give you a big art history lesson. Let's just all sit here in this room crowded. I'm just kidding. This is very briefly the theory that we're operating on. As interim director of DNA, this is what's working right now. And in the last 6 months, some pretty amazing things have happened. And I've been calling it the theory of the Spanish stairs. Okay, so go to the art history lesson. In the 17th century in Rome, the powers that be argued for over 100 years on how to solve an infrastructure problem. Newport has plenty of infrastructure problems, as we all know, and they're holding us back in a lot of developmental ways. So they wanted to connect this plaza where all this marketplace activity was going on with this large church, which was a huge part of their society at the time. In 1717, they held a design contest, the winner of which was disputed until recent times, and they developed, 8 years later, with some more bureaucracy and construction, the Spanish stairs. It solved a transportation issue in their community, and it had an unexpected effect that people absolutely loved it. It's been painted thousands of times. It's in songs, it's in movies. This is it in the center in modern times. You can't take a photograph of it because it is constantly, to this day, 300 years later, crowded with people. So the theory of the Spanish stairs is that following beauty, artists come. Following artists, beautiful models. Following models, wealthy patrons. And following patrons, prosperity, which turns a common assumption on its head. Prosperity follows art and not the converse. Art is not just something that we have extra when we have enough on our plate. Especially when we have 11 million tourists right next door who are looking for an authentic experience and destination. Transportation infrastructure for our communities are in place, and property values are low enough to allow our creatives in this room to get a foothold, which is what we're doing. More than just an arts organization, we're a community development group. This is Men's Avenue 100 years ago, and today. This is Main Street at Woodlawn in 1915, and today, 100 years later. Main Street at McMahon Avenue in 1915, and today. What do we want to look like in 100 years? We decide today, right now, in this room, and small business is the largest power that can do anything for this. It's really up to us. So, what do we need as an organization? Of course, like any group, any business, we need funding, and we are a nonprofit, so any donations are 100% tax deductible. We need you to support everyone in this room, not just these businesses, but existing businesses. And we need your time and your advocacy, your volunteer hours. We need accountants because we are a bunch of artists. So anybody with any kind of number skills, we really could use you. That is our biggest thing. But also, these ladies in the back, they have a little table tent. If you can donate, we would really appreciate it. We thank you very, very much for your patience and for coming out tonight. It's been great. This has been 6 months in the making, and I'm exhausted. I'm flying out tomorrow for vacation. My schedule has been a cliff leading up to this day, and we're free falling for a week after this. So, without further ado, our coordinating judge, Mr. Woody Van Shedden, my beloved uncle, is going to make a big announcement of the kids out here. All right.
Well, I didn't really prepare a speech for tonight. I just, first off, I wanted to thank Shannon for everything. My mother passed away about 3 years ago, and her name was Greta. And Greta is here tonight, and it made me think of it. And but my mother, Greta, would be so proud of Shannon. When I went off to college, my mom, I would come back and forth during summer breaks and worked in Gatlinburg, and I worked actually across the street at the Holiday Inn waiting tables one summer, and I told my mom, I just don't know about this work thing, you know. Can you just not, help a brother out and give me money for the summer? And she said, well, Woody, when your father passed away and left me with your 7 children, I decided that you should all work, and you're going to have to work this summer, and whatever her main thing for me was, I was never very good at, I wasn't good at sales, I wasn't good at building. My brother's a builder, my other brother's a developer, my sister was a state trooper. They were all very successful in their fields. My oldest sister writes computer programs, and she knows like 5 different computer programs. She writes for the government, and my mother I was the last of the children. I think she was glad when I left the college. She said, Woody, I'm not so sure what you're good at. You know? She was tough on me, and she said, whatever you do in life, just try to do it better than everybody else. And seeing these 6 businesses tonight, and having them have the nerve to stand up here in front of all their friends and family, and just inspirational. I think sometimes I've been in business for about 25 years. You kind of just get stagnant. You just do the same things over and over, and you get stagnant. And I'm just really happy to see all these people and their brilliant ideas, and to see them trying hard. And I wish we could give a $10,000 prize to everybody, but I want to thank everybody for coming here and trying to make Newport a better place. This Newport will always be home to me. I think there's a lot of good folks here, and I think Newport has a very bright future. And thank you again, Shannon. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to announce the number 3 winner, and I'm going to let you give the prize or tell what it is, okay? The number 3. And this was very difficult. Of course, we were in the bar area. We weren't drinking. Having said that, we weren't drinking. I had a Coke and a cup of water. But the number 3 contestant that's the winner is Julie Mullins with the Mountain Mug Tea.
We didn't mention this earlier, but first, second, and third prizes all get tuition to the Coast Guarders Business Incubator, which is a 9-week program that has been proven to improve the success rate of startups. So, Julie, congratulations on tuition.
So number 1 and number 2, we had a very long discussion about, back and forth, and it was a very, very tight race. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and announce number 2 is Seth Butler and B&B PR. Congratulations. All right. So, is anybody nervous yet? We had some highs and lows on every business, and it was a very difficult decision between all the businesses. I guess you guys narrowed them down, and it was very close on the point system. But the number one and the winner tonight is Daniel Holt of 160 Grill.
We forgot to sign the check.
All right. Thank you all. So we didn't prepare anything for after this.
If we have any business mentors that don't mind if they have a minute to come up for a couple of photos with our finalists, and if you judges don't mind, let's get a couple last minute photos before everybody
Yes,
goes home.
absolutely.
Anybody else that wants to connect
All
with
the
them, feel
finalists.
free.
We need all the
Yeah, all the
finalists.
finalists.
Yeah, and if all the finalists can come up to the front just for a few photos. Thank you all so much for coming. Everybody